All right, everyone, I just got out of seeing Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. Now, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I'm a big fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. I love the franchise because it's a great series of action movies that I can just sit down in the theater and just enjoy without having to, think too much or get too much involved in stuff and all that type of stuff. It's fun just to sit down and enjoy over-the-top action every once in a while, and that's why I like the Fast and Furious movies, and that is why I like Hobbs and Shaw. They do exactly that in this movie. This movie really didn't do anything that I didn't expect. I mean, everything that happened in this movie is pretty much how I expected it to go down. It was a great addition to the Fast and Furious universe. It definitely keeps a lot of the same Fast and Furious feel to it and themes and all of that type of stuff, but at the same time they bring a new flavor to it, because now in the lead we have Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham playing their characters as Hobbs and Shaw, and it is fantastic. They absolutely carried this movie and they did a great job with it. Their chemistry is incredible. It is seriously out of this world hilarious, and I loved every single second of it. They are basically two dudes who are bantering with each other throughout the entire movie, burning each other, ripping each other apart, all of that type of stuff, and it is fantastic, and it's such a great time. And I've said before, I don't remember in what video I said it in, but I said it in one of my recent videos where I was like, I love movies about dudes that are just, talking the shit with each other the entire time. That's exactly what they do with this movie, and it was a great thing, and it was so much fun to watch. Idris Elba is incredible. I mean, he's incredible in everything that he is in, but he was great in this movie as well. He did a fantastic job as the villain, and there are one of the greatest surprises in the movie are the cameos. I'm not going to tell you who is in the movie, but I promise you, the cameos are absolutely worth it. 100%. The cameos of some actors that are in the movie just made this movie that much more special, and it was fantastic and a delightful surprise seeing who shows up in this movie. It was great. The action was super over the top. In some ways I felt like they were trying to outdo Fast and Furious a little bit, but they never really, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff happening in Fast and Furious movies, so nothing in this movie really shocked me as far as that goes. I guess I was just kind of like, you know what? If any other like action movie did the stuff that they did in this movie, I'd be like, oh my gosh, are you serious? This is just so ridiculous and over the top. But because it's part of the Fast and Furious franchise, when I'm watching it, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's normal. And it was so much fun to watch. I mean, this movie gets a little bit draggy at some points, for me at least. Like, there definitely were some moments where I was kind of like, okay, we could have cut this down a little bit more and kind of, made it flow a little bit better. But besides that, like, I really enjoyed everything about this movie. I laughed a lot during this movie. I had a great time, and they didn't get woke or anything. They just made a movie about a bunch of dudes, and there were some really awesome women in this movie as well. But it's just, just having a good time, kicking butt, just, making an over-the-top, really fun to watch action movie, and they absolutely nailed that out of the park. And I can't wait to see where they go with Hobbs and Shaw from here, because they have a bright future ahead of them with this movie, and I think that they could do a lot of really fun stuff with this spin-off series involving these two characters. There were definitely some throwbacks to Fast and Furious in this movie. There were some scenes that involved a lot of driving and cars and explosions and all of that type of stuff, and it was great to see that as well. So, you gotta at least have a little bit of car action in there if you're gonna be part of the Fast and Furious franchise, and they absolutely did that really well in this movie. So, like I said, there wasn't anything there wasn't anything unexpected in this movie beyond like maybe like the cameos and stuff. But besides that, it was a great time, and it was so funny because it felt like that they were trying to outdo Marvel in some ways, because towards the end of the movie, I swear, this movie has like 500 post-credit scenes. It was so funny. And mid-credit scenes. I mean, it just kept on like going on one after the other. There was like one scene, then there'd be another scene, and then like the credits would roll, and then there'd be another scene, and then at the end of the credits, there was another scene. It's just like, wow, are they, what are they doing? But every single one of the, of those scenes was really, really fun, and it was just as enjoyable as the rest of the movie. So, I'm going to give this movie... four stars. You know, it wasn't like a masterpiece or anything, and it's not like a movie that I would say is just like out of this world amazing, but being a part of the Fast and Furious franchise, it was definitely a top tier Fast and Furious movie, and I highly recommend it if you are a fan of action movies or the Fast and Furious franchise. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed my review. If you have seen the movie, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the movie? Did you enjoy it? Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.
With my heart's desire.